Hello, this is Sheshachalam from AstroGuide Mysore. So let us today talk about the negatives of the combination of Mars and Rahu. A very tough combination to understand. I have done the positives in one particular video, and today we are talking about the negatives. We know that Mars is an aggressive planet, and the word aggressiveness is not a negative word. If people talk about aggressive marketing, if people talk about aggressive behavior, it is required in the areas where it is useful. So you cannot go to a boxing ring and be complacent there. You need to be aggressive, you need to be fast, agile. All these words, fast, agile, aggressiveness, these are positive attributes of Mars. So, what are the negative attributes then? When it mixes with Rahu and goes into the negative mode, that is, it is combined along with a benefic, like Moon, like it's combined along with another benefic like Mercury, or it's combined with a benefic like Jupiter, very closely placed along with Rahu, Guru Chandala Yoga, and Rahu Angaraka Yoga. This turns into a very negative combination. People become erratic. The word erratic is not stable, unnecessarily unstable. So, illogical. So, let us say, how come Mars, which is a logical planet, and Rahu also an opportunist and trying to, being like an entrepreneur, how does it become illogical? Unnecessary confidence will build up into the person, and this happens particularly in the triggering point of Mars Rahu or Rahu Mars, or it might, until that time the person was going through Venus, Sun and Moon dashas, and after that particular period, planetary period, he suddenly jumps into the Mars period. And if it is badly posited, Mars itself is badly posited, weakly posited, and along with Rahu, then Mars Dasha Rahu Bhukti is the next thing which comes after the Mars period, Mars period starts. So, relatively logical people will lose logical thinking. So, what actually happens is that they start thinking one way, only their way. Now, they have their own theory, they have their own purpose, they think that will work, nothing else works. So they'll quit their jobs, they'll suddenly jump into some business, they'll start doing something very aggressively, they'll argue, they will never listen to anybody, they are very stubborn with their opinion. And when you are trying to, convince them in all your, using all your might, they might become physically aggressive. They might leave the spot, go away, or fight there, unnecessarily make it into a big, difficult situation. So, people with a good Mars and Rahu are very strong bodybuilders. They are very strong. They are, showtime bodybuilders. They are very good at that. But if it goes bad, these people use all the objectionable, abusable methodologies like, enhancers, objectionable drugs to achieve their goal. So here once again, Mars and Rahu in a bad position can make an athlete win a gold medal and again lose it. You have gone through, history speaks, you have seen many athletes lose. And the most strong case for this is that of the Canadian athlete who came to world #1 position because of his 100-meter sprint, and then he was stripped from his gold medal in the Olympics. So we all know his name. So people want to speed up their earning capacities when this is negative. We are only talking about negatives today. And in the urge to, earn a lot of money, they get into malpractices, taking bribes, taking unnecessary favors, and also adulteration in food products. If they are selling food products, they will, do adulteration. They will try to pass the, rejected goods. They will do, they'll do all in their might, which is possible to get what they want. So, hook or crook, that is the word which I was trying to tell. So they would want to do anything hook or crook. That's not good, but unethical marketing practices, unethical business practices can happen if Mars and Rahu is ill-placed in a chart. We all know Mars is the planet feared for accidents, and Mars Rahu can give bad accidents, broken bones, torn flesh, very difficult. And it gives scars, burns. So, whoever has a bad Mars and Rahu, for a remedial measure, please meditate to moon, become cool. Please meditate to the sun god in the morning. You will have a stable way of life. Do not overspend your time at night. Do not overdo. Like for example, I'm just coming to that point. Loud noise, parties, alcoholism, ruffians, hooligans. You have heard all these names in the in our dictionary. I keep using dictionaries. So you have heard all those names there, but that's what is Mars and Rahu in teenagers. It's very tough to handle kids, young fellows with Mars and Rahu badly posited. They become reckless, careless in their actions, going and ramming themselves into something, getting cut. But they are very strong. They don't yell and cry. You might have seen such kids who are, but you shouldn't be supporting that particular character, that they are reckless. So we need to, somehow teach them. It's very difficult to handle Mars and Rahu. Very tough for even an astrologer like me to even understand how to handle this. So miscreants, bad elements of the society, people with moral turpitude, these people can become a bane to the society. So strict policing, hard punishments are required to curb their activity in our society and in our communities. So if we come to good characters, people with very nice personalities, because this might not be the ascendant, it might be some other placement, Mars Rahu. So these people might go through health problems like, carcinogenic problems like cancer, immunodeficiency problems like, autoimmunes, difficulty of the blood, sudden difficulties of the blood, like if you go through a lot of medical journals, you can get these problems like rheumatoid arthritis, people going through myositis, lupus, and all that. I am not that knowledgeable in these things, but still, I have understood what actually that is, and then going deep into it, you will get to understand why actually that happens to a person. So, going through sexually transmitted diseases, STDs. So people can go through hardships when Mars and Rahu becomes negative and hits them, and it might suddenly demotivate a person, because if you are in a particular level and you are suddenly pushed down 3 ranks and asked to work in the same organization, that is the toughest thing to happen to a person, because he loses his dignity, he loses his identity. But why does it happen? He is only, now crying because he is 3 ranks down. But why was he pushed there? Because of an inquiry, because of something which he did. So that might be a punishment. These things can happen: suspension, punishment after inquiry in government offices. So these are all the major negatives of Mars Rahu. People who get into thieving, robbing, cunningly, trying to rob somebody from their property, showing power, gundaism, trying to usurp somebody's property. These things are also coming under a negative Mars Rahu. But here, when I'm talking about the character of a person getting into these types of bad character, then the Lagnadipati or the Lagna itself has to get afflicted. So, thank you very much for today's class. I hope I have given you a complete picture of Mars Rahu now, the positives and the negatives. God bless.